Hello! This is Lash from the future with a very important message. If you guys remember last episode, I thought I have discovered something very important with Journey Map, and that is that you can teleport to any location that you want. The problem is that I didn't know that it's running the teleport command, so it's basically cheating. Of course, I'm not going to use the teleport function again because in any case, most of the ores that I want are just next to our home. The problem that I have is that by the time I learned that teleportation is basically cheating, I did already record this episode. So, yeah. I couldn't do anything about it. I think everything should be fixed by episode 4. So me is sorry. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of GregTech New Horizons. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Today is the day. I want steel, and we need to get it. The problem is that in order to get steel, we need so much resources, and I have to process all of that resources. I just came back from mining a ton of iron, now we need to go find copper and tin. And also a ton of other stuff which their names I don't actually remember. But do not be worried, me has a list and we shall follow the list. Should I repair you now? No. Anyhow, I did manage to get a decent supply of iron, so let us continue with copper and see where we go. This is our copper mine. Do you remember the copper mine? That's what's left of it. Oh, and by the way, I did manage to find one emerald ore. I have no idea why, because I used to think vanilla ores are disabled. Maybe they're not. So that was copper, now it's time for tin. We do not need that much tin, so this should be enough. Our main goal for today is to try and get steel, correct? In order to do that, we need some sort of a blast furnace, which is a multi-block structure made out of fire bricks from GregTech. I think it's a 3x3x4 multi-block structure. The recipe for the fire brick itself is not that bad, because it is basically just a combination of clay dust and brick dust, which this is also easy, it's just pulverized bricks. There you go, in a forge hammer you will get a small pile of brick dust. So the bricks are going to take a lot of time, but it's manageable. But there is something else, which is a bucket of concrete. Stone dust is nothing very complicated, it's just pulverized stone. Quartz dust is basically pulverized sand. Clay dust is pulverized clay. But you might notice, we need something called calcite dust. In GregTech, whenever you have huge ore veins like this, there's always a primary ore, which in this case is lapis, and there's always a secondary one, which is calcite. Unfortunately, it's not that common. Look. I did manage to get a few, but we need more and I will mine for more. If I manage to get enough calcite from this vein, which I think I would be able to, the only item remaining is going to be gypsum, which is also a secondary ore and I need to find it. But in any case, one stupid problem at a time, we get the calcite first, then we worry about gypsum. So ladies and gentlemen, we were missing gypsum and now we have found it. This ore vein that you see over here is called basaltic mineral sand and it's basically just iron. But as a secondary ore, we also get gypsum. And I'm also relatively happy that there is a cave system here because you can actually see the ores. Copy in 1.7. Okay, so I am back from mining and we need to get down to business. Of course, I would like to mention that we do not have all the resources that we need, but at least we know where to get them. I think for metals like copper, tin and iron we should be okay, but in general we need to make a lot more items. For instance, I need more steam power, so I'm going to need more boilers and therefore I'm going to need more tanks. I think we're going to start with 3 tanks and 3 boilers and maybe a buffer tank for the steam itself. I'm hoping that will give me enough steam in order to power a forge hammer and an alloy furnace. We basically need the forge hammer in order to process some of the ores that we have found into their dust version like calcite and gypsum, as well as converting some of the coal and redstone that we have found into the actual ores. So let me do some processing and I'll be right back. You know, at first I was thinking let us go dramatic and have a few crafting tables so that I can reveal to you what am I crafting in them. By the way, this is the only one which is full, the rest are empty. Because the issue is that I kind of need to install them as we go along. We're missing 3 resin. Of course you're going to give me 1. So there you go, that is going to be enough in order to make 2 extra water tanks. And by the way, that is 104 pieces of iron. Oh, the mallet broke. And since I need to do some redecorations, we need a wrench. And I have also set recipes for making different pipes, so this should be relatively easy. Eventually I need to go with much more tanks, but I think for the moment 3 should be enough. Even if it's not enough, I cannot afford more. That is 9 millibuckets per tick. I honestly never thought that in a mod pack water can be an issue. Also, we are not making garbage, so the piping has to be centered. There you go. That looks fine. So, it's dark, you can't sleep. We have improved our water situation, now we need to improve our boilers. We already have a bronze boiler, so I think we're going to go with, I don't know, 3 more? My only question is, why does it have to be an iron furnace? And again, by using the wrench, we get the boilers. To connect up your boilers, be sure to provide water from the bottom. Okay, fine by me. I just realized that my piping was incredibly inefficient. So maybe we do it over here? Yes, I'm assuming this is not going to be the worst setup. 4 boilers and 4 tanks eventually. At this very moment we need some sort of another buffer for steam, and that requires another multi-block tank. It's kind of expensive, but it only requires iron, and we have a decent supply of iron, so I'm not that worried. So the minimum is going to be a 3x3x4, or I don't know, maybe we go 5? Let us see how much iron we have, then we discuss. So it's iron plates, screws, and a screwdriver in the center. And I also need to make 2 valves. I do make a lot of calculations on how many items you need in order to craft something, but the amount of material that you waste on just making tools is just brutal. But in any case, let us try and test it. So is it going to be enough in order to make, I don't know, a 3x3x4 structure? Or do I need more? I need a little bit more. We do have plenty of iron, so there's no need to worry, but they come in like 40 different colors. Why don't they stack? I don't know. Maybe it's because I placed them down? The valves are not the worst. No. So it's 4 screws, 2 large pipes, 2 iron bars, and a wrench? No. Hammer? No. Yes. Screwdriver. This is so ridiculous, I have not even started yet and we went through like, I don't know, 4 stacks of iron. But at least we have all the resources, and I did make a few extra iron walls, so I think we can make the tank a little bit bigger. Yes, we can make it 5 tall. Do you work? 720 buckets, and that is going to be our reserve for steam. I gave some fuel to the boilers and they are generating a decent amount of steam. It's nothing too fancy. So far we have like 60 buckets, but I'm hoping at least that should be enough in order to power some of the machines. I'm missing pipes. I had them on me. I think this should be the extract point. I will try to make them fancy later on, but for the moment I just need a little bit of steam. Hello? Steam is hot. This is the steam compressor and it will make us blocks of iron. With those blocks of iron we should be able to make an anvil and finally make the hammer. Now that we have a buffer for steam, this is actually going relatively fast. How are we doing on water? Not that bad. Yeah, all 3 of them are gaining water. Weird. We have 2 blocks of iron. Perfect. We also have 4 blocks at the base which we made for the tool forge, so this should be enough in order to make a forge hammer. At least I think. Oh, we need a piston. Of course we're not going to craft a piston, we're just going to steal it. Although now that we are in the village, some of you guys have been telling me that in the apothecary there is a chest under the cauldron. Wool of bats. Well, the bread was useful. Anything of interest. Obsidian sign head. Instead of stealing bindings, I should have stole those. We have another apothecary. What do we have inside? Okay, for the anvil we need 2 screws, 2 plates and 5 blocks. Here is my 5 blocks. Here are the 2 screws. And here are the plates. There you go. An anvil, which with the pistons that we have stolen, we can make a forge hammer with it. Also, the first thing that I really want to try with this... You look weird. Oh yes, you do have a face. I thought I broke it. Anyways, I was going to say the first thing that I'm going to try with it is going to be coal. Oh, it works. And it gives you coal. Does consume quite a bit of steam. I am going to need a ton more resources, but it is perfectly fine. We have finally enough steam in order to make more coke oven bricks in the alloy smelter. And you need a vent. That works. Now, I was thinking, now that those things are out of the way, can we make an actual lunchbox? Yeah, I have 6 of you, and I even have 2 extra screws, so why not? There you go. An actual lunchbox. That was a quest? But you do have 6 slots. Okay, perfect. So I can get rid of the bags. We don't need them anymore. I did notice something very weird. So I did manage to get the lunchbox, correct? Look at the rewards. Of course I'm going to take it. In the comment section of the first episode, some of you guys also told me that I should make the ore finder. The problem is that it's not as useful as you would think because you need to have the ore anyway. And I'm guessing we take the loot bag. I made a pipe and you're going to give me 2 chest upgrades. I'll take it. For the crafting station, we get plums. I love plums. And for the dispenser that I stole, we get an iron gear. This for some reason did not count. Anyways, that was not the important thing that I found in the quest book, it was this one. There is a backpack from forestry, and it should be something achievable, but we need to finish this quest first, which requires a drying rack, bound leather, and tanned leather. I should not really read the quest book whenever I'm outside. I can swear to darkness that I had wooden screws. Oh, they're here. Okay, here is drying racks, and bound leather is not that bad. Because if you guys remember, we were trying to make the gloves and I never succeeded because it was quite expensive. And just in case it's going to require, I don't know, like 3 million of them, let's make 2. I think we have to wait 5 minutes for it to dry up. We also have some delicious rotten flesh. We can also make jerkies. And the loot bag gave us a steam engine. That was nice. Oh, this is delighted meal. It gives you full saturation. I shouldn't waste it. Also, the main reason that I have to go on a very small adventure is that we need to find tons of clay. Because in order to make the blast furnace, for each of these fire bricks, we need like 4 clay, I have absolutely no idea how much that's going to be, but you should remember that in order to make a clay dust, you need to pulverize 4 clay, and this is the recipe. Anyways, that is not very important, you should process gypsum. Are we done? 50%. Okay, your favorite number. It's gone. Actually, while the leather is getting prepared, maybe we can do something. 1 piece of redstone ore inside the forge hammer is going to give us 10 crushed redstone ore. Do you see where I'm going with this? Oh, it gives you 5. You jerk. You lied to me. It's okay, for testing purposes, 100 is also enough. So we need to crush this crushed ore with a hammer in order to get impure redstone. And that breaks our hammer. And since we're also making the redstone, let us also do the same for gypsum. And I think the final step is to just wash them. Oh, that is easy. And gypsum works the same way. Ah, we have it then. Although the redstone itself is going to be for the shovel. Do I have to do this one by one? There was an automatic tool station for upgrades, but I'm guessing the recipe is going to be crazy. Are you fast? Not the worst. In the meantime, the leather is ready. It's a very good thing that I made 2 tanned leather because we can get both backpacks. Because I think one of them is for ores and the other one is for, I don't know, sand, gravel, dirt, cobblestone and etc. Unfortunately, I could only afford the miner's backpack. We're out of string. Anyways, let me go and gather some clay and see where we stand. At first, when I saw your messages on Discord, and I'm talking about you, Snow, when you were laughing at me that, oh, wait for Lash to realize how much clay he's going to need in order to make a blast furnace, I was incredibly scared. But here is the point. The clay is everywhere, next to the river. And I already have 8 stacks. So lol to you. And besides, I have flippers, and I can swim really fast. Did you know we have blood moons? I had no idea. You might be thinking that I'm hiding like a chicken under the ground. That could be partially true, but I'm using my time efficiently. Cause I think I need to find half a stack of gypsum. Although we have also consumed a crazy amount of iron today and I don't mind getting more. I should not go down. Oh, that's a shame. It's morning now. I wanted to go and fight, but you know, mining took some time. But joking aside, I think we have everything we need and I'm just trying to gather a little bit of coal. I'm not a chemist and I have no idea what is the difference between lignite and coal, but this one sounds posh. Okay, it has been a while, let us get back down to business. Our main goal for today is to try and make steel using a blast furnace, correct? If you look at the tooltips for the controller itself, it is going to tell you that it's a 3x4x3 hollow structure, meaning that based on this recipe, we need 216 of these fire bricks. I know that 216 bricks does not look that much, but you should remember we need almost 1000 clay and 1000 bricks. So I think here's how we're going to proceed. We're going to have a lot of furnaces. That is probably too much because I don't even have the coal for it. No, we don't, but I can always process more. And the reason that we need a lot of furnaces is that we need so much bricks. Also, in the comment section of the first episode, some of you guys have been telling me that pollution is very important and I should take it seriously. So I think we put the furnaces, I don't know, here? Yeah, here is fine. While some of that brick is cooking up, we should focus on other stuff. For example, I did mention that I want another forge hammer, which is kind of expensive, but it's okay, we can afford it. And there you go, the second forge hammer. Are we good? Nothing exploded? Fine. The reason that we want to have 2 forge hammers, hello, is that one of them is going to process some of the ores and the other one is going to process gypsum. Yes, I know you need a vent, don't you worry. And again, if it's not obvious by ores, I meant coal. What do I need to do? There are so many things to remember that I forgot what I had to do. Oh, you can dabble ores using a forge hammer. Ew. Yeah, maybe a better one, this one is garbage. Cause the NEI is telling you that it will dabble it, but in practice you don't get twice. The first batch of bricks is almost ready, and that is very good. But we need to process much more, so we're going to have more furnaces. So here is the fun part. We spent all of that time in order to make bricks, now we need to crush it. So it does half a stack every time. This is gonna be painful. Yep, it is going to be painful. I can use an iron mortar, but iron is expensive and we go through them really fast. So I'm going to use the flint one with stone. And that means I have to smelt more cobblestone. Let us also have a superfood, because I'm extremely tired of eating food every 30 seconds. There is absolutely no other way of doing this, right? Forge hammer. They're working on more important stuff. I can do this manually. Actually, we are not doing that bad because each one of them is going to give me 2. Yes, so I have 128, that will give me 256 and we need like 216. And just out of curiosity, I did not mess up the quartz sand, did I? I was incredibly worried. It is not a shapeless crafting, you do it like this. Okay. I also think we have enough quartz sand, we need stone dust, and we need calcite, as well as a lot of clay dust. And just for sake of not making any mistakes, that will give me fire clay dust, okay. And we just have to put it inside the compressor in order to get the compressed fire clay. The questing system in this modpack is going to be very weird, so I'm going to make my 4 stacks, and then I'm going to put them inside the compressor. Oh, I'm out of clay. It's okay, the main reason that we're out of clay is because I did a miscalculation and we did not need to make that much bricks. But I think I'm just missing like 2 stacks and clay is almost everywhere. Yes, that is plenty. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our final stack of clay dust. And we shall mix it with fire clay dust. And we have 4 stacks of fire clay, which I think it should be enough. Was in a compressor. You're a compressor? You are slow. How do you make a compressor? When I was adventuring and trying to find glowstone. Anyways, I was going to try and say when I was looking for clay, I did find an extra village, so maybe they have a tinker's hut? And I can steal a piston? You're a librarian. Ooh, they did not have a tinker's hut, but it's perfectly fine. There's another village over there. Oh, I didn't loot this one. What do we get? Cosmic meatballs. Okay, I'll take it. Maybe I should just gear up and try to find roguelike dungeons, cause the loot is amazing. Imagine you go to a dungeon and get the Sword of the Cosmos. Oh, that is a dungeon from Tomcraft. Do not be worried. I'm a professional. We go in, very slowly. It doesn't hurt that much. Oh, this is 1.7. You don't regen health. Oh, but you can spam click. I have opened the gates of hell. But on a positive note, I think everyone is dead. Almost. A Gatling skeleton. Oh, that is my flesh. He's using a fishing rod on me. I don't think it's a wise decision to go in. We go home, and I'll make the piston myself. Oh, you can eat the meatballs. Really? Holy. Strength 2. We go back in. The chest that you see over here always had a TNT underneath, and I don't see it. So I can open it? Steel. We take it, obviously. Tin, bronze, lead, and silver. Diamonds! So I did all of that, but we still have our main issue. How do you make a piston? With the steel that we just found, we can make a mortar which will have 128,000 durability. Really? Even the hammer has 128,000 durability. Holy. We're gonna keep it. Yes, it does have a durability of 128,000, but an iron hammer has a durability of 25,600, so that will do like 4 stacks. So it's not as good as you would think. Secondly, making a piston is also relatively easy for us because we do have the alloy smelter and all we need is redstone and copper, which gives us the red alloy ingot. However, the worst part of the situation is that we don't have enough calcite and we don't have enough gypsum. Cause I think I need 70 gypsum and maybe 2 stacks of calcite, and we don't have it. So obviously I have to go mining again. I was just claiming some of the rewards. We got a pressure plate. Very useful. Anyhow, it's not going to take that long in order to get the resources that we need. I think maybe an hour, so let me do some mining and I'll be right back. Do you remember that idiot who said a few seconds ago that this is going to take maybe an hour maximum? Well, he had to dig this much. I don't know if we have enough, but we have 38 of the ores and we have a little bit of the dust and the crushed ores. But in general, I think we have enough gypsum in order to make the fire bricks, because you need 2 per 6 and that's around 70. I just managed to mine 52 and we do have 47. So the only thing remaining is that I have to go and mine some calcite and get a little bit of clay. Oh, and by the way, I lost my shovel. I did die twice in the dungeon, and whenever you break your grave, things go everywhere. That is a very big spider. Ladies and gentlemen, after hours and hours of crafting and mining, I think we are very close to steel. I have 4 stacks of fire clay and I think we should have enough calcite and gypsum. We will see. It's just that I have to wash some ores and I thought we'd do it over here. Okay, that worked. That also worked. I think I should have everything on me. Oh, we need to cook these. My bad. Now that they're cooking, I'm slightly confused. How are you supposed to craft this? Because you need 2 buckets for each one? Is it gonna consume the bucket? I don't know. The iron that we need in order to craft the buckets is not going to be a problem, because in any case I did manage to find a decent amount of iron when I was mining for gypsum. It's just that it's going to be a huge waste of resources. I have noticed that we're missing something, and that is stone dust. How do you make it? You do get a little bit every time that you go mining, but I cannot find the recipe for it. we have 40. Is it like stone in a forge hammer? No. Cobblestone in a forge hammer? No. I still have absolutely no idea how to get it, but we should have a little bit of the impure version, and I'm just going to wash it. And just in case you know how I can make more, please let me know, because maybe we're going to need a lot more and I kind of have to know where I'm going to get it from. Anyhow, the stone has been washed, let us try to make some concrete. It's just an incredibly stupid recipe, so... Oh, you do not consume the bucket. I'm guessing that is a very good thing, but we also need like 2 crafting tables. You know, one for making concrete and one for making the bricks. So concrete, gypsum, and the bricks. There you go. The first one. I have to do this 36 times? Yeah, it seems I have to do this 36 times. Although there is one point. Life will be so much easier if we have more buckets. How do you make a bucket? Okay, 3 plates and 1 hammer. You know, life is not going to be amazing, but I'm guessing it will be a little bit easier. Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, I would say this is a little bit faster. So this is going to be my life for the next few minutes. Let me craft all of them and I'll be right back. That was a very weird recipe, but it's done. We have all the blocks. I hope. Now we need to make the controller, which actually is not that bad. It's just 4 iron furnaces. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 iron furnaces and 4 of the bricks are going to give us the controller. We also don't have that many iron ingots left. We only had 1, so we're going to test it on this one. I think it should be something like this. Maybe? Also, I did place it down beforehand and it seems you can break the blocks by using a wrench. Are you a multi-block? Oh yes, you are. Can you make me steel? Hopefully? Yes? It can. And we have some extra blocks. And we can also make some extra blocks, but not that much. I was hoping that eventually we can have 2 of them, but not anytime soon. Are we good? Yeah, it's going to take a very long time. I've been washing some ores. Oh, I was trying to sleep and it's ready. The first one. And I think with that, it's a good time to wrap up the episode. Next episode, we should be able to make our tool forge and we should be able to get a hammer and a lumber axe. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.